What's unusual about this skyscraper? It's a stunning facade of steel and glass, stretching high towards the clouds. At 300 metres tall, it would easily be at home in New York, London or Shanghai. And when you compare it to skyscrapers around the world, it doesn't exactly stand out. But that's just it. The Gran Torre isn't in any of these places. It's in Santiago, the capital of Chile. And its impact on the people who live here is arguably more staggering than any other skyscraper in any other city on the planet. It's because Gran Torre isn't just the first super tall in the country, it's the tallest skyscraper anywhere on the continent. And it's not exactly popular in Santiago. In fact, Gran Torre might just be the most contentious skyscraper in all of South America. Santiago has just about everything you could want from a city break. It's right in the middle of Chile, and if you head just an hour to the west, you'll hit the Pacific coast. Back the other way to the east is the beautifully imposing Andes mountain range. But this city is a lot more than a stopover on your way to ski or surf. It's the nation's cultural hub, blending finance and politics with rich history. Stretching back for centuries, the people here have taken great pride in the country's architecture. Santiago was founded on indigenous settlements way back in 1541 by the Spanish conquistador Pedro de Valdivia. Over the following 300 or so years, the landscape was shaped by colonial architecture. Look around today and you'll see charming short houses, tiled roofs and patios in abundance. A neoclassical era followed in the 1800s as Chile gained independence and went through something of an economic and cultural revolution. And you can still see that architectural stamp in Santiago today. But that strong bond with beautiful architecture came to a pretty abrupt stop. In 1973, a military dictatorship took hold, lasting for nearly 20 years. It was a period of brutality and repression that saw the country's architects and designers stifled. Now, jump to today, and Santiago's in an age of glass facades and urban development. Which brings us to Gran Torre, nicknamed the Mordor of Santiago. Now, the development of this city obviously hasn't happened overnight. It's been a decades-long journey to make Santiago what it is today, and by the way, that journey is far from over. That's great news for anyone looking to get their hands on big exciting projects, but all that growth is going to need some careful coordination. Even here at the B1M, if we don't manage our projects properly, important things like release deadlines or sending invoices can slip through the net. That time crunch all businesses feel is why Odoo's invoicing app can genuinely be game-changing. It allows you to send invoices to clients in literally seconds. Select the customer and all the relevant details and you're good to go. Anyone receiving an invoice will then be directed to a custom portal to make a quick online payment. Sorted. And you know how keeping up with who owes what and when can be a real nightmare? Well, tracking payments with Odoo is a doddle. Just check the dashboard, which updates in real time, so you can easily see who has or who hasn't paid their bill. Now guys, nothing in life is free, except your first app with Odoo. They'll let you try out their invoicing app entirely for free, so you can work out if it's right for your business with no pressure. This is not some week-long trial. Odoo are going to offer you unlimited hosting and support, so they are there with you every step of the way. When I first started the B1M, figuring out which business services I need was a bit of a nightmare, and having something like Odoo around would have made my life an awful lot simpler. Guys, you can try your first Odoo app for free by checking out the link down there in the video description. As you know, every time you guys go and check out one of our video sponsors, it massively helps us here at the B1M. It helps us keep bringing you great content, so please do take the time to go and do that. We would really appreciate it. Now, I believe I was about to tell you about why Gran Torre is called Mordor in the Chilean capital. It's meant to be for Santiago what the Eiffel Tower is for Paris, or so its owner Horst Pullman reportedly said. And if by that he meant a controversial tower that divides a nation, then mission accomplished.
It aligns to how our economy has developed over the last 30-40 years. On one side, it shows an idea of this is what we are, but also, is this the best approach to design a building? People were afraid of how the building will react to earthquakes, and on the other hand, how the district will change based on this huge influx of people.
Construction started back in 2006 and saw this building climb higher than any other had done here before. And while its architect Cesar Pele said it was never planned to compete with the power of the Andes, its impact on the city really is like that of a mountain. Gran Torre dwarfs the city of Santiago, reportedly casting a shadow a mile long, which is far from ideal if you're one of the buildings directly under it. Around 72,000 cubic meters of concrete and more than 18,000 tons of steel make up South America's tallest tower. You'll see the body of the structure is supported by a heavily reinforced central concrete core. That provides a solid base upon which the detailing was added, and there's quite a bit of structural support, but there's good reason for that. Building in Santiago comes with one challenge that's bigger than all the others. Earthquakes. This place sits in a seismic hotspot. Back in 1960, the country was hit with the biggest earthquake ever recorded, coming in at a frightening magnitude of 9.5. That was a fair way up the coast from Santiago itself, but the capital city faces its fair share of seismic events. Granted, most are barely noticeable, but every now and again the city does face enormous ground shaking, like the 8.8 magnitude earthquake in 2010. Structures like Gran Torre have to be prepared. It's why the tower's fitted with a special outrigger system. It works by connecting the exterior columns to the building's core through a series of steel beams or trusses. It's a bit like standing between two walls and sticking your arms out. You're going to feel a lot more stable than if you were just on 2 feet. At the base of the building, copper spring shock absorbers were fitted to the foundations to absorb seismic energy. Now, those of you paying attention will have realised that this earthquake hit right in the middle of Gran Torre's construction period. It happened when the tower was about 2/3 complete and standing around 200 metres above the city. You might think that would leave it less than structurally stable, but remarkably, Gran Torre came through the ultimate seismic test virtually unscathed. Its impressive outrigger system and base engineering absorbed any energy cast out by the earthquake, meaning work could continue on the tower later that same year. But there's another secret to Gran Torre's success, and it comes from the tower's shape. The glass wall facade tapers as it climbs towards the latticed four-cornered crown at the top, and there are a couple of reasons for that. Firstly, the effect of wind is lessened on a tower that slims as it rises. You can cut down on something called vortex shedding, which is where wind forces build up and swirl around a structure. Imagine trying to work while this was going on around you. A tapered design impacts the natural frequency and the distribution of forces too. You can actually use the shape to redirect the biggest forces to the strongest part of the tower. It's all incredibly ingenious stuff. But despite its impressive engineering, Gran Torre has a lot of enemies. To offer some context, the second tallest building in the city, and in fact anywhere in the country, is more than 100 metres shorter than Gran Torre. It really is in a league of its own. And while it's a grand symbol of the continuing development of the city, it stands as a big glass reminder of wealth disparity. The enormous glass tower began construction in 2006 in Santiago's most affluent area. But come 2009, the nation found itself tangled in a recession following the global financial crisis. Construction of Gran Torre ground to a halt for nearly a year, looming over the city's residents as an incomplete reminder of Chile's financial troubles, unemployment, and personal debts. But the problems go far beyond what this represents financially. If you build it, he will come. If you build it, they will come. Okay, so I might be slightly paraphrasing the original quotes, but you get the picture. To say Santiago's population is around 7 million people, over 3 million visitors travel to this complex every month, and the city just isn't set up for it. This is more than just a massive office building. Gran Torre is the centrepiece of the Costanera Centre, which features 4 towers and a 6th-floor mall. It's right in the heart of the financial district, known to locals as Sanhattan. Right from the off, people complained the tower would cause nightmarish traffic because of a lack of improvement being made to the nearby road network. And while this tower came through protests, construction delays, and a $600 million overspend, those traffic issues didn't go away. Come 2015, reports surfaced that Gran Torre was practically empty because the building's owners hadn't managed to sign up any leases. They'd failed to get an occupancy permit from the government because the necessary road upgrades hadn't been made around the tower. Years of debate followed about whether upgrades would be publicly or privately funded, and so Gran Torre stood, a $1 billion empty skyscraper.
When it comes to the shopping center, yes, it's a success. It's among the most profitable shopping centers in Chile. In terms of legacy, it's part of our skyline. But still, the project has this issue with how to deal with following stages, and today it's not fully open, the tower itself. But in terms of how reshape the city's skyline, is a success.
It might be just one of the more than 50 office towers occupying this ever-developing space, but there's no denying it's the biggest sign yet of a city straying from its architectural roots. And just look at how big it is compared to everything else here. And yet, this thing forced its way above the skyline, overcoming all kinds of obstacles. If Gran Torre can find a way, then anyone can. Now, the people of Chile aren't alone in wanting to protect their architectural heritage from buildings like this. Right across South America, the same problem is being encountered. It's one of the key reasons, among others, that the continent sits at the bottom of the pile when it comes to the world's tallest buildings. But Gran Torre feels like a key milestone for change. In the last 20 years, a number of skyscrapers have made the climb towards the skies as part of the South American skyscraper revolution, and there are loads more on the way. Gran Torre has set a precedent that you can build super tall in South America. A 300-metre symbol of the continent's ever-growing climb towards the skies. This video was made possible by Odoo. Check them out at the link below. And as always guys, if you enjoyed this video and you want to get more from the definitive video channel for construction, make sure you're subscribed to the B1M.